Thank you, Ben. Our final respondent is Richard Watt, Campaign Director for Sustain, the Alliance for Better Food Farming.
Thank you. Sustain is a charity, we're a non-party political NGO with about 100 members across the country all working together to improve the food and farming systems. I'm going to restrict my comments, I think, primarily to the food elements of this report, all of which I strongly welcome. I think that the radicalness of some of the conclusions is entirely proportionate to the scale of the problems that we face with the obesity crisis. London is lucky to have a food strategy. We're also lucky to have Rosie Boycott as the driving force behind it, and Rosie's introduction to the London food team has given it real oomph, for which we are very grateful. A number of boroughs also have food strategies as well. I think we should be honest that, frankly, some have committed, Camden's a very good example of this, committed quite a lot of money and staff time implementing it, what's happened in some mixed results because of this. It's right to be reading this report that we have in both cities a wealth of small initiatives which are run by incredibly well-meaning, incredibly passionate, skilled people who have enormous care for their community. But what we're not perhaps getting to grips with is the food culture in both cities. And if you look at what sets food culture in the same way that what sets any other kind of culture is the kind of norms, is the things that, what the normal food people see, normal food that people consume. We start looking through some of the recommendations of the report, and I think we are seeing then the insights into some of the things that can start changing what people perceive to be the normal food they eat in London. Where I live in Archway, you go down the Holloway Road, and what is normal is fried chicken outlets, it's kebab shops, and frankly the contents of some of the things that these small independent shops sell make McDonald's look like health food. There's an example from Liverpool, it's not London, but it's still pertinent, where the organisation Heart of Mersey found a black bean sauce in an independent Chinese restaurant in Liverpool that had 26 grams of salt in it. Now, it's almost enough to do about a heart attack on its own, and no one's done the equivalent bit of work in London, but I rather suspect if you start looking at the saturated fat in some of the fried chicken you get in the places very close to my home, you have some pretty shocking results as well. Now, the Wolf and Forest intervention on fried food outlets is great, but as I understand it, only applies to new outlets, and so we need some stuff on top of that as well. And I think there is a role there for, and what I really like in the report is seeing clear standards people, not just as enforcing rules about traditional food safety, but also looking at a much more wide view of what food safety now is, and looking at how you can help the shops that are willing to change to improve the healthiness of some of their food, and actually taking much tougher line with the shops that aren't willing to change, and actually some prosecutions and other things like that, which actually a lot of councils, because they're trading standards departments and we don't have the cash or the time to do that kind of thing, really shy away from that. I think one of the reasons why I was asked to speak is that it's entirely separate to my work at Sustain. I'm also a borough councillor in Islington, and was one of the people who forced through the Universal Preschool Meals Programme, which I'm very proud of. The benefits are enormous, better health, better learning, reducing the stigma of being a preschool meals child, better taking of healthy meals that kids who are previously entitled to take preschool meals. It's not controversial. There's a vote next month from the council which could see the whole thing suspended. But I think it could make a enormous potential difference, and I do think other people should look at that as well. In fact, the government is funding a trial in Europe is also incredibly welcome, and I think we're seeing some good results from that as well. But I also think there's a point about wider food education as well. Miles, not only chair of Capital Growth, has also been involved in the Food for Life partnership, which was a very good example of how you can link kids' nutrition to their food education, and actually give practical examples of how you can learn about food in schools, which actually makes a real difference to the way in which kids can engage with food in the classroom. And finally, on childcare as well, we're working with Claire Pritchard at GCDA on what we hope will turn into a Healthy Children's Centre programme. But again, there's a lot of work to be doing on that in its very early stages. Public procurement is also vital. And again, a project that we do some work on as well, because it's vital that the public sector shows leadership, because frankly, if kids were served crap in school, they would take me that crap was normal, because if you got it at school, it had to be all right. And same for hospitals, and the fact that my little lad was born in Washington hospital in North London 20 odd months ago, my partner, he was a patient, ate okay, but I could only eat Burger King or some terrible stuff from the canteen where I was always asked if I wanted a muffin with my coffee, I think speaks volumes for some of the examples that we're setting in some of our public sector institutions. And again, it strikes me, both, to make a slightly naughty point, both London and New York are governed by what people could be fairly described as centralised administration. It's very fashionable within centralised thinking at the moment, I think, to talk about how the state is killing some of these kind of good initiatives that we're seeing. As much as I think Sustain and others are doing great work to improve public procurement, the real lesson from our schools is that for all of the great small projects that we had, it was genuinely not about changing the law that got the improvement to school food that we saw. And we would not have got the improvements, the massive improvements we've seen to school food had the law not been changed. So there was an enormously important role of legislation here. We should never forget that. And the final thing I want to say plays to that for us as well, which is it's great that New York is going to become labelling the Food Standards Agency in this country is taking some very tentative steps to press that as well. And I think that is going to make a difference. But if we're talking about what normalises food, what normalises bad food, let's have a look at the fact that, as Tim Walstein so accurately points out, the WHO think there is a 1 to 500 ratio between the amount of money spent promoting good food versus the amount of money spent promoting unhealthy food. That's 1 to 500. So the international figure, I suppose, when going around London or New York, is particularly different here. Not in the city's power to legislate about stuff like that, but again, I think both cities can start providing some leadership here. So my final call is, why don't we start thinking about banning junk food advertising in London buses?
Okay, on that note, back to you, Bill. Thank you for all the respondents. I think it's great and both insights from different organisational perspectives and how that may certainly link with how you might go forward with this initiative as well. We're running a little bit late, we've 15 minutes, but we can continue talking and seeing copyright. Anybody have any burning questions or issues you want to share? Say who you are, where you're from, if you are.